Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're enjoying your day so far. And today we're going to talk about a number of interesting things that have happened over the last 24 hours or so. Chief among them in this video, the Fero Memorial Tournaments that concluded last night. Massive shout out really to Cheetahwanga and the guys for putting this on. It was a fantastically well done thing. Hopefully it continues in future years as well in Fero's memory. But it was very much a sweaty tournament, right? 4 versus 4. Lots of professional teams in this one. We've got, of course, Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, Control, Double Elimination, all the good stuff, and well, a lot of amateur teams that were doing very well as we talked about yesterday. Atlanta FaZe ended up winning it, but a number of interesting matchups, results, and storylines to discuss in this video as well, and what implications that may have for the CDL 2021. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new. As always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much for doing that. Firstly, this from Enable. A couple of weeks ago, he confirmed that he was going to be retiring from professional Call of Duty, and he said in the video at the time that he maybe wouldn't have retired if he didn't have such a fantastic offer on the table. And well, seems like it's taken a couple of weeks for him to then get the contract signed. Where might this potentially be? Who really knows? We talked about 100 Thieves, who was also kind of well, jostling around with the subliners, I believe, in the responses here somewhere, with you know, where are the best places to shop in New York City, asking for a friend. So who really knows what's going on here? I think he maybe linked something or something on stream last night. If you guys are aware of that, leave it down in the comment section below. Moving on then, this from Center. So Hardpoint, S&D and Control highlights from today's tournament versus Rocker and the Gorilla. So Center was also playing in this tournament. Rocker come back with the eyes emoji. You know, some people are saying, okay, Doug's team's doing pretty nasty. I think it's like Zed, Denz, Doug, and I think Goonja was playing on this team for a while, and Aches was playing on this team before that as well. Seemed to be pretty good. People thinking, okay, Rocker maybe going to pick them up as like an academy squad or something like this, because a number of the professional Call of Duty organizations, I believe, as things go forward, will look to do that. And Doug with his Diamond AK-74U, certainly absolutely frying people in this one. So yeah, it could be his year. On the Gentleman's Agreement side then, the KGB SOCOM Eliminator muzzle attachments have been added, so supposedly this acted like something of a suppressor, making it so that your red dot didn't appear on the minimap for as long. So that's been removed from the professional side. And in the European region, they're only running with one sniper in Search and Destroy. This is yet to pervade into the North American side, but is maybe something that will come relatively soon. Sniping is certainly very strong in this game. So yesterday, of course, this tournament kicked off again. We talked about it in yesterday's video, but also it continued and, well, concluded last night. So OpTic is a swift 50 minutes later as Cheetahwanga, and it was kind of funny to see. I think like Envoy had like a dentist appointment or something. People were talking about why exactly the reasons were, or the subreddit, and all this type of stuff. But he says, look, OpTic has 5 more minutes, or it's going to be chalked off. But yeah, well, am I really going to forfeit the King of COD? Just looked in the mirror like, however, Chicago do turn up and end up beating Los Angeles Gorilla. So I think there was like the Rocker versus Dallas match that was also highly delayed. We'll have a look at the results of that in just a second. But Los Angeles Gorillas, that being Vivid, Apathy, Assault, and Silly, haven't been looking too good. Chicago end up taking them down in this tournament, so decent result from them. This was all on the losers bracket side, so it was Atlanta FaZe versus, I think, the WestStar team that were going to be matching up in the winners bracket. All the other teams had lost at some point and were fighting their way through the losers side. So at the end of the day, this is an online tournament. It maybe doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. Not a huge amount of money on the line. And so, yeah, really cool, of course, to see this in memory of Fero. But as I said, Reddit, it's a proper best of 5 tournament. Control might not be in the best state right now, but Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, Control, best of 5 double elimination type stuff with a number of the top amateur teams and top professional teams. It doesn't get too much better than this, and yes, we're only a couple of weeks into the game, but the meta is being determined right now, and well, it's possible in the coming weeks there's going to be a major overhaul to what the meta looks like. If Trek do decide to go for some major weapon overhaul and updates, new maps could potentially come into effect. Things are certainly going to change, but I definitely think this is a good indication of how the teams are matching up against each other in this early online competition. Dallas Empire then took down the Rocker 3-2, so of course, the Rocker team of Major Maniac, Accuracy, Attach, and Priester, they were looking relatively decent here up against the Dallas Empire, certainly one of the stronger teams, the Empire in theory, reigning world champions, of course, minus Clayster. So then, Dallas Empire matched up against OpTic Chicago. This is definitely a spicy matchup, right? Definitely a matchup for the ages, and something we talked a couple of days ago, the fact that Hector Rodriguez was potentially in discussions with Hastro to form the OpTic Dallas right at the start of the Call of Duty League 2020 season for Modern Warfare. Things didn't go through with NRG, and then starting the Huntsman kind of last minute. A number of players have talked about how Huntsman was very much cobbled together last minute, and the Arcetes and everything, and Octane talked about how that team over there, that it was meant to be Arcetes like Envoy, Slacked, Octane and Enable maybe. I'm not exactly sure who the 5th was meant to be, but that team fell through last minute because the Huntsman was then formed pretty much overnight, and well, that could have been a thing. However, Dallas versus OpTic thankfully is still a thing, and of course OpTic back to its rightful home in that sense. Definitely the E Classico is going to be back in full force this season, especially with the Scump versus Crimsix beef that we had at the end of Black Ops 4 and through the Modern Warfare season more generally, really. And now we get to a point where hopefully they're going to be a fantastic matchup this season. This time around, Dallas Empire get the job done. So I think they've been going a little bit back and forth in scrims. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much. I think that Dallas Empire closed it out here on Garrison hardpoint, and I think it was actually the control. Dallas Empire beat them 3-0 something, and I think like OpTic lost a defense or something. And whenever you lose a defense in control, it's pretty much chalked. So Dallas Empire took them out. OpTic won the search and destroy in this here on Crossroads. They clutched them in around 11. But yeah, pretty fun to witness. Crimsix, I suppose, draws first blood over Scump in this like online tournament arena at the start of the season, given this was kind of like a tournament. If we're going to be seeing some online tournaments leading up to the start of the league, which maybe we won't see any tournaments like this put on by the CDL. Typically we'd see something put on by MLG or something. But yeah, these type of tourneys are probably the best we're going to get. Something like the CMG Pro Downs that we saw at the start of Black Ops 4. But yeah, Crim kind of draws first blood in this sense, but I'm sure OpTic will be looking to bounce back in a couple of weeks' time when there's inevitably another one of these tournaments. Just wanted to share this quick clip as well because, well, here it was on this Garrison control, and Formal just straight falls through the map, right? So this type of stuff has got to be finished, like, it's got to be dealt with, I suppose, by Trek and the guys, because, yeah, not really too acceptable. I've seen a number of things like this now where people try and mantle over this thing in middle, and then they just fall straight through the map. And this, of course, is especially important in control, where every single life matters. So hopefully Trek can get on this, but as I say, we're only a couple of weeks into the title at this point, so yeah, certainly still a lot of things to develop going forwards. So continuing on the Fero Memorial, so this Draza team, which has been very, very good. We talked yesterday about how 100 Thieves or Los Angeles Thieves might be considering Draza instead of Temp in the starting lineup, but Draza, Prolute, Dav Paddy, and Optimum taking down Parasite's team of Blast, Decimate, and well, Neptune 3-2 in this in the losers bracket side, and then the Mutineers then take out the Dallas Empire. So Mutineers, we talked about them kind of having a difficult time against Atlanta FaZe, but it was really cool to see them, all things considered, like slack to the team now instead of Fero. Would have been really great if they could have won this, like in Fero's honor, I suppose. But yeah, Awakening looking very, very good indeed, and well, those guys are certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with, I believe, for this season once again, which is, yeah, cool to see some competition at the high level of play. So Dallas Empire, having beat OpTic Chicago, get taken out by the Mutineers. Interesting to see, because I think these teams have been very much going back and forth. Like, I think OpTic beat Mutineers kind of comfortably in scrims, but then Dallas Empire beat OpTic, and then Mutineers absolutely crushed Dallas in this one. So certainly it's pretty difficult to determine exactly who are the best teams in the game right now, but one of the best teams is relatively clear. Mutineers then took down Draza's team as well. They'll then play WestR next, who lost to Atlanta FaZe in the winners finals, and the Atlanta FaZe squad is just looking so deadly indeed. So WestR, that being Zaptius, Paulex, Gravity, and Venom, take down Mutineers 3-0, so very impressive stuff from them. A lot of the Pro League teams getting crushed again by some of these amateur guys. That was in the Pro League for a time, and I think it was the Midnight Esports team in the latter half of the Black Ops 4 season, but yeah, Gravity, been a substitute on the FaZe Clan team before, and yeah, they take down Mutineers in this online tourney, so pretty impressive stuff. And of course, like, I wouldn't really be giving these online tournaments as much weight, if not the fact that it's probable that at the start of the season, we're still going to be playing in some sort of an online environment. Yes, there has been discussions, the fact that all the players have to come to one facility for their team house, so like all the guys, Formula Dashy, for example, are going to be moving into Texas, like the Hex quarters, right, and they're going to be playing all their matches on LAN with each other, but still in an online environment, right? So they're not necessarily playing all over from their different houses and stuff, but they will be in the same location, but still playing in an online environment, which definitely means that these tournaments hold slightly more weight maybe than they would normally do. And as I said yesterday, hopefully in the latter half of the season, we can probably get back to some LAN events. But Atlanta FaZe take out WestR in the grand finals to end up winning the tournament Fero Memorial champion. So yeah, really, really cool to see, and pocket about $4,000. So yeah, FaZe definitely looking the strongest, right? We've seen a number of these pro teams have a difficult time against some of the amateur guys, but FaZe seem to be entirely unfazed, part of the pun. They just smoked the entire tournament. I don't think they lost a respawn the entire tourney. Yeah, watching these guys was pretty much something else right now. They've certainly been grinding, and if it keeps going like this, they will certainly be the team to beat when the season does indeed kick off. So Atlanta FaZe win the job, WestR in second, Mutineers down here in third, and yeah, Dallas Empire 5th, 6th, Chicago, Los Angeles Grillers, Minnesota Rocker. So a number of the Pro League teams playing in this one, but most of them beaten out by some of these amateur teams that have been looking very, very strong indeed. So hopefully over the coming weeks we get some additional tournaments, and we get to see how these guys match up and see if maybe OpTic Chicago can get one back over on the Dallas Empire, because to me, if Atlanta FaZe do seem to be far and away the best team in the game, Dallas Empire versus Chicago is certainly going to be one of the spiciest matchups of the season, but hopefully they also can compete with FaZe for championships when the season does kick off and these guys don't continue to just accelerate away from the competition, because in theory, agree. This has got to be one of the most talented Call of Duty teams that has ever been put together. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
Order in the back.
In the back, one shot, and there's one cobble too.
Order
in
dead.
cobble, in cobble.
1 second, I'm coming.
One shot.
Yo, low key.
I got one more there. One more there.
It could be top green, okay? Hold on.